endure forever before me. And your throne shall stand firm forever. They thought that meant we'll be big shots. So then you read in Psalm 89, the whole first part is a hymn in honor of this promise. And then the second part, but you've rejected David. You've thrown his crown in the dust. We're the laughingstock of all the nations around. I thought you said that was never going to happen. He didn't say, oh, it's never going to happen. He said, it will last forever. And now it lasts forever. Jesus Christ is eternally, divinely King. And nobody can touch it. And that's the Son of David. But he didn't say, every king is going to be a big shot. Going to have a house in Miami and a house in... No, he didn't say that. But he did promise. And the people understood. If you read 2 Chronicles, 17, I think it's 13. You have the same promise, repeated. Except here, if you go on reading this, it says, and if he disobeys me, I will smite him. As happened to so many kings, but I will always be a father to him. That part is left out in the repetition of the prophecy in 2 Chronicles. Why? See, they love the Word of God. They know what to do with the Word of God. They left that out. Why? Because now the seed is not your successors. It's your seed. One, as Paul says about Abraham. And of that one, there will be no question of disobedience and punishment. Ever. And they knew it. And that's why they said, prophetically writing in this kind of dull history book, which is 2 Chronicle, they leave out all that part about punishment. Because now we're not talking about your heirs, one after the other. We're talking about your seed, one. And we know that while all the kings are descendants from David, and he looks after them if they want him to, there's one coming. And of his kingdom there will be no end. This is why. What does it say in Isaiah 7? Isaiah goes to the king Achaz and says, ask a sign. Right? And he says, I wouldn't tempt the Lord. What does he really mean? He means, I don't want God to be that real because then I'm going to have to obey him. That's why we don't like signs and wonders. It makes everything too real. I mean, he's really real. And I got to stop sinning. So, I don't want to tempt God. And how does Isaiah answer now? Listen. What does he say? Listen, O house of David. Understand? He's building on that promise. See, is it not enough that you bother men, that you have to bother my God? Well, the Lord himself will give you a sign. Behold, a virgin will conceive and bear a son, and you will call his name Emmanuel. That was a prophecy for Achaz, but the way it was said and the way it was understood was such that the editors knew they had to preserve this oracle. It was addressed to the house of David. How many times do we have in the Psalms this same thing about the Ben David, the son of David? You see what's so marvelous about this? God talks to us. God promised all this. So we wouldn't wander around forever like lost children in the dark. He talked to us. He said these things. And he awakened in the hearts of so many others. Preserve that. Write it down. That's from God. That's why when he came, it made sense. That's why it said, you see, now that he's here, well, who is he? Go read the prophets. Then you'll find out who he is. That's why Paul says, you see, manifested through the prophetic, the mystery What's the mystery? The incarnation. Kept secret for long ages, but now manifested through the prophetic writings. He's here. He rose from the dead. Now who is he? Read the prophets. Isn't that marvelous? I told you before, Justin Martyr, when the Gospels were not very well known, proved the resurrection of Christ from Isaiah. Isn't that beautiful? Now, there was somebody who got it. Mary. And so when the angel came to her, an angel came to her. We read that. We're so used to it. Can't you get blown away? An angel came and talked to her? Just think, I'm reading this book about Our Lady coming here, Our Lady coming there, to warn us. We're such idiots, we're not even listening. Stop. The Mother of God has come. How many times to our world in the last 100 years? 50? 500? At least a whole bunch of them have been approved by the church. Mary has come and told us, we're in for a hard time. Times of darkness are coming. You can turn it around if you will pray and fast and strive to be holy. And if you'll say the rosary. She's come from heaven to tell us that. And we go, ho-hum, that's very nice. I'm really glad to hear about that. And then, the healthcare bill is coming down the pike. What do you expect? But it's not ever out of God's hands. That's why it's more important to be at peace and to preach peace than to get everybody scared and guilty. What good is that going to do? The mercy of God will never leave us. Never leave us. Always available. So the angel came, and he said, Here ki karitomeni. Hail, most favored one. Rejoice, most favored one. The Lord is with you. Now she knows the prophets that Paul is talking about, right? Both in Zechariah and in Zephaniah, you've got this, one way or another, a prophecy to Jerusalem, to the city, to the nation, called Daughter Israel. Well, who is Daughter Israel? Who sums up Israel? Mary. Isn't that right? All of Israel is there in Mary.